Good day. Another beautiful day in beautiful Oregon. A little overcast, but at least it's not raining. Today we got a fun little project. We're gonna work in the garage again, putting some running boards on my son's new pickup. It's got a 2015 Chevy Silverado. We're gonna put some running boards by a company called GoRhino. They're the RB20s. So we'll see how much fun that is. So this is my boy's new pickup. Nice truck. Like I said, 2015. It's a crew cab, standard bed, and these are the running boards. GoRhino. The boards look really nice. They got almost a bed liner surface to it. Really nice quality with the running board. And the hardware looks really good. The instructions are pretty lacking, not very well done at all. A little confusing if you don't do this a lot. But we just sort of assembled everything on the parts that we think that they need to go to. But when you're trying to follow the instructions, their part list is pretty poorly written. They're calling out for a bunch of different types of bolts, like a 5/16 18 bolts. We don't have any of those. All the bolts that they sent, all 32 of them, are a metric 8 bolt, which doesn't match up with their material parts list. And as far as which bolts get flat washers and lock washers, that wasn't accurate either. And as far as these little spring clips, the M8 spring clips that we put on to some hidden holes underneath there, they send you 8 of them. You don't need 8. You're only going to use 4 of them, and then you're going to use just the bolts alone in a different location. So they could definitely do a better job on their instructions. Their pictures are accurate. They do show this the Chevy nut that's on the underside and this threaded nut zert that's installed by the factory. So those are correct. You've got 4 total, 2 on the left side, 2 on the right, for each of the nut and the threaded insert. So that picture is accurate, and then this picture is accurate. You do have plugs in this corresponding hole that you put this little spring clip into. So you pop that plug out, slide the spring clip in, and that's what attaches the top of the rear brackets, basically above the rear doors. But yeah, they could have done a lot better job explaining these as far as matching up what they send with what their material parts list is. Other than that, let's put this thing together. And one other bit of advice we can give you is these factory installed holes, like the threaded nuts are there and the actual welded on nut there. It's good to pre-tap those because they're filled with dirt and grime from the truck driving around over the years. And if you don't have one, you're going to sort of bugger up those threads as you get it in. So, I've got an M8 1.25 pitched tap, which matches up with the bolts that they sent, and you run that tap through your holes, and it just cleans them out and makes the bolts go on a lot easier. I also had this cheap little Harbor Freight die and tap set. I've actually used it quite a bit, so that's where I got my tap from, the M8 1.25. But one of the bolts, the threads were buggered up, so I was able to pull the die out of the set, which was an M8 1.25, and was able to rethread it. So it was bad enough that it wouldn't thread into any of the nuts or the holes or anything I was trying to get it into. So it had to be rethreaded. So it was nice to have this little kit. And another little thing that we found out. They send you a bunch of nuts and washers that you're not going to need, not going to want. They're redundant, and I think they hinder the installation. So like they're showing on this diagram right here that you're going to be running this bolt with a lock washer, with a flat washer against the bracket into the nut zert. Well, since these bolts come with a convex washer, that washer is meant to be put against a hard surface and then collapse flat. So you wouldn't use the lock washer or the flat washer, or the nut for that matter. So you're going to be getting rid of all that and just using this convex flat washer, which it's on the bolt. It won't come off. You know, you can't pull this thing off. So it's put on after or it's put on before the bolt is threaded. So just another little bit of information to help you put it together. So you can see those two nuts. I'd put the upper one into that threaded, they call it a nut zert. Okay. Now we need a screwdriver and pop these plugs out, put the clips in. So we're on the back two brackets now above the rear door. And these two plastic plugs, one here and one here, got to come out. And then the spring clip. Line up. Slide that in. So it clips. They sort of fall into the hole, which this one has not. There. Sort of drop down into the hole. So they're almost flush with the body. Flat washer, a split lock washer, and a nut. And we're going to leave everything loose for now. And do the same back here. Sure how far forward they want to come. Line it up with the back of the cab. Maybe.
I think it's up to us. Really?
You don't want it hitting that.
No. We can go back further.
Back just a hair. It's real snug to the bottom of the bed or the bottom of the cab. She's done. A little finagling, a little modifying, but it looks good. Looks parallel to it. One thing we did have to do is these two front brackets just to keep a parallel line with the running board to the bottom of the cab. I don't know if you can see them or not, but we had to add 3/8 washers, 3/8 for a 3/8 bolt on these two front brackets. Then that made the line parallel to the cab. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Repeat the process on the other side.